Bro, for months John Fury has been treating this entire situation like a joke, screaming at press conferences, punching walls, demanding ridiculous money. But sources close to Carl Froch have just confirmed something that changes the entire dynamic of this rivalry. And no cap, the reaction from John Fury's camp tells you everything you need to know about how seriously this is now being taken. Stay with me, because this story just shifted from talk to something much, much more real. Okay, so quick recap for anyone catching up. John Fury, 61 years old, retired professional boxer, father of Tyson Fury, has been at war with Carl Froch for years now. It all properly boiled over at the press conference for Tyson's comeback fight against Arslanbek Makhmudov. Froch was there on punditry duty for Netflix, and John just went off on him, demanding the fight right there in front of everyone. Froch said yes. Misfits Boxing got involved, put an offer on the table somewhere around £1 million, and then it all fell apart. John wanted $2.5 million. Said by the time tax and everyone else takes their cut, $1 million isn't enough. Said he doesn't need the money, he just knows his worth. Froch came out afterwards and accused him of putting unreasonable demands in place, trying to get his son Tommy on the card before him, basically blockading his own fight. So for a long time, the whole thing looked exactly like every other John Fury call-out. All noise, no signature. But that's where things have just taken a turn. Sources close to Carl Froch are now saying something that nobody expected this early, that he's taking this fight properly. Not just talking about it on his YouTube channel anymore, actually building toward it. Back in the gym consistently, doing real training camp work, treating this like an actual fight on the calendar rather than just another media exchange.
He was saying I can shove them where the sun don't shine. World titles, I mean, come on.
You know them championship belts he won, don't you? He wants to give them to somebody with a pair of nuts, because let me tell you, he's no street fighter. I'm a street fighter. It took 20 men told me there tonight. There's no 12-stone man or 13-stone man going to do any good with me.
When he boxed pro, he spent more time with his arse on the canvas than on his feet, and he was absolutely fucking useless.
The exchange is very much against Fury, and that was a beautiful little right hand. And Fury may be about to be stopped for the first time in his career. And he's certainly not going to beat this count. He's absolutely out. Count it out.
I'm ready to fight. I ain't got a problem with putting a bully in his place. But it got serious because he asked Calla, and Calla said, listen, I can do the fight, no problem. He hasn't priced himself out, not yet anyway, and it looks like he's being serious. So there's a chance that this fight might actually get made if John doesn't vanish like he did last time.
No cap, that's a massive shift, because up until now this whole saga has played out almost entirely in interviews and press conferences. Insults back and forth, demands, accusations. But training camp footage and reports of regular gym sessions mean Froch isn't waiting around for John to sign anything. He's preparing like the fight is happening regardless. And here's where it gets crazy. Word getting back to John Fury's camp about this has apparently caught them properly off guard. The reaction is being described as stunned. Because remember, John's entire position this whole time has been built on the idea that Froch is the reluctant one, the one making excuses, the one who's not serious. That narrative completely falls apart the moment Froch is the one putting in camp work while John is still negotiating numbers. So let's break down why this lands the way it does. First, the money optics. John publicly said he doesn't need the money, he knows his worth, and yet turned down a 7-figure offer over the difference between $1 million and $2.5 million. That's already a tough position to defend. Now pair that with Froch actively training while John still hasn't signed anything, and the entire framing flips. Froch starts looking like the fighter who wants this. John starts looking like the businessman haggling over a number. Second, the credibility gap this creates. Froch already responded publicly accusing John of blockading his own fight by trying to get Tommy on the card first.
About your old man, I don't know if you saw the big crash out at the end at Carl Froch.
Yeah.
We do want to see him in the ring at some point.
Listen, all I can say is just pay the man what he's worth. Give him the money that he deserves. Because I can tell you now, if them two do fight, it'll probably be it'll do millions in pay-per-view buys. You know how big it would be with my dad. Like, you know it would. So just give him the money. Just give it him, because you'll get your money's worth.
You know what I always find mad? Because you're obviously cool, calm and collected. You've got Tyson who brings something. So many of you are so different. And yet Big John is just like the mixture of chaos and calmness at the same time. But you don't really see Red like that.
No, do you know what it is? I'm just a relaxed type of guy. There's not much that gets underneath my skin. I'm just a constant professional. Do my training. I come here, I win, get paid and go home. That's my thing. I'm not going to try and be something I'm not. My personality and my myself sells the way it is. You know, I'm the package. I'm not going to change that for anybody.
If reports are accurate that Froch is now training seriously regardless of where negotiations stand, that's Froch removing every excuse John could possibly use going forward. No more, he's not serious. No more, he's stalling. The ball is entirely back in John's court. And third, bro, think about the psychological angle here. John Fury has spent this entire saga performing, punching walls for cameras, screaming at press conferences, making threats. That's all spectacle. Froch quietly going back into proper training camp is the opposite of spectacle. It's a statement that doesn't need words. And from what's being reported, that silence is rattling John's camp more than any verbal comeback ever could. Wait for it, because here's the detail that actually makes this interesting. John Fury's entire public persona has always relied on being the unpredictable one. His own words, not mine, he'll do anything, say anything. No one knows what he's going to do, not even himself, until he's there. That unpredictability has been his weapon throughout this entire feud. But training camp doesn't care about unpredictability. Training camp is repetition, discipline, structure. If Froch really is putting in consistent gym time and building toward this properly, he's taking the one advantage John Fury has always relied on completely off the table. You can't talk your way out of a sparring session. You can't bluff your way past someone who's actually doing the rounds. And that's exactly why the reported reaction from John's side makes sense. This was never supposed to get this far. The whole point of the chaos and the wall punching and the screaming was to keep this in the realm of talk, where John controls the narrative. The moment Froch starts actually training like the fight is real, John loses control of the story completely. So here's where this actually sits. For years, this rivalry has lived entirely in interviews, press conferences, and YouTube videos. All noise, no signed paper. But the moment sources close to Carl Froch confirm he's properly building toward this fight, training camp, regular gym sessions, treating it like the real thing, the entire dynamic shifts. John Fury built his whole case on Froch not being serious. That case just collapsed. And if reports of his camp being stunned by this development are accurate, it tells you everything about which side actually expected this fight to happen and which side was banking on it staying exactly where it's been for years. All talk. The question now isn't whether Froch wants this fight anymore. He's already answering that question in the gym. The only question left is whether John Fury is finally going to match that with a signature. No cap, the longer he stays quiet on that contract, the louder this silence speaks for him. Drop your prediction below. Does John finally step up, or does this stay exactly where it's always been?